All right. Good morning. It is Friday, February 18th, 10 a.m. Eastern, 1500 UTC. This is MeanFi Community AMA, and you are listening to MeanFi. We are both live on Twitter and on Discord. On Discord, let me see how we're doing here today. On Discord, we have 56 people. On Twitter, we have only a handful. What is this? Like 12 people on Twitter. Blah. All right. We probably should have promoted that a little bit better, although we do this every Friday. Every Friday we do this. Every Friday. I have with me Chris Code and Pavel-san on the as speakers. Welcome, guys.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
All right. So we'll do this time. We have a tasty AMA, and we're gonna try to keep this short because we are on a very busy release date today. I'm sure Pavel-san will cover a little bit of that later on, but the way that we're going to do this is, as always, we're going to drive through some metrics, and then we're going to get a little update about different areas of the business and different areas of the product, and then we're going to answer all of your questions. So if you have any, please go to the AMA questions channel. It is open for everybody to type their questions in there. Nothing is too silly of a question to ask. Nothing is off the reservation. So please go there and ask your questions in English. I see that some people are already writing in Turkish. I do not know how to read Turkish. So yeah, please read in English. All right, or write in English rather. All right. So what are the metrics here? Let's take a look at the analytics portal for the server. We have, I don't know why this keeps like defaulting every time I have to like go and change the time frame for this thing, because it defaults for some reason to like 1224. Yeah, I guess it picks like a longer period, by default. I always have to go and change that. So let's take a look at how we're doing in the last week. We have 22 new members in the last week. We went down in terms of number of communications, number of communicators by 5 relative to the new members that came in. That's about a 30%. So we only have a 69% active new members that became part of the community. We have a 46.2 new member retention. How many new members are joining? Our peak day here was February 14th. What happened on that day? We had a lot of people join through the vanity URL. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know why. Did we put like a love post on February 14th? Something like that must have happened. Interesting nonetheless. The membership over time, though, like has kind of like dropped a little bit. We started February at 69,700, and today we are at 68,700. So we've lost somewhere in the 900 people in the server. But the ones that have stayed have had a lot more activity. So again, this is like, I think, kind of like in line with the retention and loyalty that we have for long-term users of the DAO. So that's I think in general good news. I would like to see this grow a little bit. We've been somewhat not doing a whole lot of activities to grow our member base, and we need to start changing that really soon. We're doing a lot of work right now with the DAO. And with the community and with the ambassadors to restructure things a little bit better, so that we have a lot more dedicated efforts on each side. Where is Tariq? Where is Tariq? I was hoping that Tariq will join us here today to give us a little update on the DAO. Well, maybe
Yeah.
you would do a Chris Code.
Yeah. That's all on the stage. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so let me wrap this up, and then I'll hand over the mic to you. All right. So what has happened in Twitter? Actually, like if you look at the last 28 days over on Twitter, we had a relatively quiet second half of January, and then again on February 11th we had some new contests going live, and things started to kick up again. So definitely the number of impressions after in the last week or two have been sustainably higher than the previous one. We were like in the last week of January, we were somewhere hovering on the 3,000 to 4,000 daily impressions on Twitter, and now we are somewhere hovering in the 7,000 to 10,000 daily impressions. So that's a 3x improvement. So good stuff in there. I still think we need to do a more kind of like planned and strategized approach to Twitter. We're still doing a little bit like ad hoc Twitter posts and engagement with the community over there. So, but all of those things are getting a workout, and pretty soon you will see some additional improvements and more consistency on those ends. So, overall, the engagement rate went from, what is this, 3.4 to 4.0. So that's also a little bit of a uptake in their improvement. The number of click-through links went down by quite a bit, actually, from 670 click-through links to 42. I guess that we're not posting any links. That probably means that we need to be posting more things that people can click through, or the things that we're posting need to be more interesting for people to actually click through them. Retweets also kind of like came down a little bit. We were somewhere in the 50 to 100, and now we are somewhere in the 25 to 50. So we need to work a little bit on that as well. Number of likes have also been kind of coming down. Are we like making less interesting posts on Twitter? Like these are kind of interesting numbers, like on this last week. So the number of likes and number of retweets have, you see like a little bit of like a slope down here, 121, 97, 89, 60, 49. Maybe we just need to do more tweets in general, and keep more engagement on Twitter. Just, notes to the DAO, Chris Code, okay? Like we have to figure out the Twitter calendar a little bit better. All right. Before we kind of jump into the DAO, Pavel-san, what kind of updates can you give us on the product side?
Sure. Thanks, Michelle. I'm going to start off with just pointing out a survey that was done. I believe it was on Twitter, actually, to your point, where the community was asked. Tariq was helping with that, which was awesome. Community was asked about what were the sort of up and coming or favorite features that everyone wants to see. And I guess it's probably no surprise to us and Michelle that staking was at the top, I think 59%. So no huge surprise that everyone's looking forward to that. Multi-sig was 32%, and provider owned liquidity pool was 10%. And just going to give an update actually on all three of those. But before I do, one of the things that we've been working on, and it's a sort of a group project focusing on the element of accessibility, which I think from a long-term standpoint is a key thing that we need to do to grow the Mean Army, if you will. And so we're in the process right now of launching today, actually, the translation for the Turkish language. And so just wanted to give a big shout out to the guys that helped out with that, including obviously Tariq, Arabian Horses. Hopefully I've said your names right here, Kadma and Ina. And so thanks a lot for that, guys. I mean, it really is such a huge step forward. It seems small, perhaps, from if you're used to speaking English, and that's not really consideration. But the accessibility element is something that we're going to continue to develop. And super quickly, we've got Korean and Vietnamese. Jody and Sura are helping on the Korean front, and Vichu is helping on the Vietnamese front. So I don't know. I'm super excited about that. And again, a little bit later today, we're going to see the Turkish one launch from dev to prod.
That is phenomenal news, and it is no small feat, because just if you take, for example, Turkey and Korea, those two combined alone are 38% of the server. That's like pretty close to half of the server. By the time that you add the English speaking countries that we have, like we have more than 60 to 70% of the application that is natively on their local languages. So I think that's a phenomenal phenomenal feat that we're adding to the product. So kudos to all the people involved.
100%. Exactly right, Michelle. And I think what I love about it most is, it's all of us working together as well, right? Not to say that we can't do it on everything, but I love when the community can come together and we can help make it again more accessible, right? Which is don't want to repeat myself too much, but it has a huge value for us as a DAO, and also to grow ourselves in the future. So switching gears on the next sort of topic is surrounded primarily around security, but it has a lot of applications, and that's the one of the building blocks which was mentioned in the survey is the multi-sig. And so what we're doing with that is again, as part of this release program that we're coming out with today, we're going to be launching the vaults and the program element to multi-sig. And so I know that for the average user, maybe multi-sig isn't seen as the top one, although it got 32% in the survey. It's a foundational building block for our success in the future. There's so many elements around that, and just from a security standpoint, if I can break it down for the community very quickly, if you have a fair amount of funds, if you only have it under one wallet, if something happens to you and that private key is lost, that money is toast. By adding the additional sort of, I call it security, but it's insurance in a way, of having a multi-sig setup that controls a set amount of funds, there's a lot more safety involved in how those funds can be managed and distributed according to whomever's in charge of them. So so essentially that is an element of that is coming, and it was no small task, guys. I mean, this is a very huge undertaking. It does exist in different versions in other blockchains. We're doing something what I consider very unique, and will be something that brings in people into MeanFi that aren't already here. So super sort of element on the sustainability front. I think there was a question about that, where it as again, as I said, as a building block, it's going to be seen as one of the key steps that we took as a DAO for our future in a very positive way. So that kind of covers multi-sig relatively briefly, and more will come about that. And on the investing side, which I think I sort of left the most important one for last, the staking, that is slated to be next week. Next week we're going to be launching that, and there's actually quite a bit coming, not just on the staking front, but we call it within the investment area. Some exciting up and coming things where we're going to be, I don't want to release too much yet, but we're going to be connecting and giving an easy way for people to stake other tokens, access the liquidity, providers, and also to the POL, which is coming a little bit probably early March, based on some certain audits that are happening right now to make sure everything's secure. And so so that's sort of one sort of up and coming thing. And I guess the only other thing I would say on the product front, which is really exciting, is, and a shout out to the awesome guys at Great. They awarded us with a grant, a 5,000 USDC grant to help integrate the money streams into their dashboard. And so what that is essentially we're gonna be helping. I guess again, it would be fall within the accessibility front, allowing Great members to be able to see the money streams that they're already using with MeanFi to get distributions and other payments, be able to access and withdraw those directly in the Grape dashboard. So that was really exciting, and we love the Grape guys, and super grateful to be able to help work on that, myself included. And it's an opportunity, I guess, for other DAOs as well. If you're not currently using our money streams yet, take a look at them, because they're a huge utility for being able to distribute any kind of different payments to people and members.
Yeah, awesome stuff. If you don't mind me adding a little bit more color to that, so you were mentioning about the multi-sig not being something that people, like, individual retail users care about, and I would add, like, yet. Okay, one of the main reasons that multi-sig has been such a big kind of void in the retail space, and mostly it is organizations and DAOs that care about that, is because they have a very, like, high technical friction for a regular user to adopt. Okay, but like Pavel-san was saying, this is a very foundational building block that we're putting, that we're creating right now, that will allow us to make further down the road additional features that will make it extremely easy, even for individual retail users like you and I, to set up a segregated witness on, like, say, for example, certain thresholds, right? So, like, it's okay if you have your petty cash or your petty money in your wallet right now that doesn't need to be multi-sig. But if, say, you want to secure that nobody has the capability of draining your wallet in case that you are a victim of a hack, you would be able to set up your wallet with a multi-sig threshold that is, say, for example, above $1,000 worth of transactions. Like, you need to get multi-sig approval, right? And that means that you'll probably need to get out of your safe, your ledger, and sign with that as well, or pick up the phone, call your wife, or have your segregated witness or your secondary owner sign those transactions that are high value transactions. That way you get kind of like the best of both worlds, where you get to transact with everyday funds. It's kind of similar to that if you think about it. Most banks nowadays, when you have a debit card, they usually enforce a daily withdrawal limit on that debit card. Like, you cannot go, even if you have $100,000 on your bank account, you cannot just put that in an ATM and withdraw $100,000. You'll have, like, a daily limit, like $500 or $1,000 or something like that. And that's a maximum that you can withdraw on a day. And there is a maximum that you can withdraw within a week. And there's a maximum that you can withdraw within a month. All of those things are very difficult to do right now in a self-custody matter, because essentially you are the custodial of your own funds. The minute that you introduce multi-signatures, you have very interesting workflows that we can power up now directly on your wallet or on your web wallet or on any kind of treasury that you want to set aside, like a savings account or something like that. directly through the multi-sig processes. So very, very excited. All of these things that of limits and whatnot that I just explained are not going to come out today, just to clarify, okay? But what is going to come out today, which is the vaults feature, which is essentially an on-chain wallet that can be managed by multisig or is owned by multisig, and the programs are building blocks into being able to power up all of those additional workflows that I just went through. Okay, so very, very excited about that. It is a good day for us, and a good day for, I think, a lot of DAOs and a lot of other projects and protocols are going to start using that right away, because the way that we have made it, and the user experience is like super friendly and super efficient, and you don't have to be a developer to understand or to write one line of code in order to be able to secure your funds with a multisig, that is with our multisig as we're releasing it. Okay, so just wanted to add that color, Pavel-san. You can keep on.
For sure. You know, that's awesome, Michelle. One quick point. I just heard that there might be something going on with the Twitter feed. So if you could just take a quick look at that while I continue to speak. I'm not sure.
Oh, sure.
I just had one report by a user saying he couldn't hear. And I guess just finishing up with the multisig, if I could just add one other element. If you're an individual, again, a retail user who maybe, you know, you're like, oh, I wouldn't want anyone to be able to sign for my funds, but you could theoretically have, let's say, 3 different wallets that where 2 of the 3 require signing for a transaction. And so you still control the access to each of the 3 different wallets per se. But if say one gets lost or something happens to it, or you just want to prevent someone from being able to sign a transaction with just one authorization. I mean, there's so many use cases to this, guys, and it's the reason why we're crazy bullish about it, because as Michelle said, there's a lot of different additional layering we can add to it as additional features and functionality that will you'll understand why I say that it's such a key building block, and Michelle says for MeanFi. So I'm gonna switch over to quickly to support, and because it's been going really well, and I just wanted to give a couple of metrics. In the last 7 days, just within the Discord area, we've had 116 help center tickets solved, which I think is fantastic, and just a big thank you to everybody that's helping our members solve issues in a swift and helpful manner. And breaking that down within that, we've improved a lot at the and getting more skilled in solving the issues, which I love. One of the metrics I got from the support team was that of 200 tickets, only 10% required more than 6 interactions. So stats, guys, what that means is that we're becoming more skilled and better able at answering questions and solving them more quickly without taking everybody's time. So I was pretty excited about that, and I guess the other thing I wanted to say is that something that I think is worthwhile doing is to obviously recognize individuals in the community that are really doing an awesome job. And today I actually wanted to shout out Vichu. Hopefully I said your name right there. You, my friend, are doing an amazing job. And this is not just on the support side, but your active role in helping solve tickets has been fantastic. Reporting findings and issues with the app and other suggestions has been top notch. And I just say that we really welcome your assistance and help, and give you the Support Member of the Week award, and I'll follow up with what that means a little bit later. But just again, really thank you for that, and also I just wanted to welcome other people that we're constantly looking for people to help out with issues around. Primarily focused on QA, like being able to test and look for bugs is probably not the right word, but look for ways that we can improve. So if that's something that you really enjoy doing, reach out to the support team or ambassadors, and and let us know as we're currently looking to expand on that front as well. So that's pretty much all I have for now, Michelle, but I'm happy to answer any questions. And if I missed anything, please do let me know.
Yeah, no, phenomenal. Thank you very much, Palson.
Awesome.
That was an amazing update. By the way, I had to we were having some issues on Twitter. I already posted a little update there for having people join us over here because for some reason the audio was not going through. It's okay. We'll have to. I've been saying this for weeks now. We have to figure out a better way to multicast this thing, but we'll figure it out. Let's see. Chris Code, what's going on with the DAO? Oh no, he dropped.
We just lost him. Oh, here he is.
So he's back. Chris Code, can you give us an update? What's been going on with the DAO and with organization, ambassadors? Like, what has been happening there in the last week, and what are the plans that we have coming up for the new week?
Okay, Tariq and the community workers have been focusing on practically sensitizing the community because in as much as before the airdrop period, we just had a lot of people who were just here, participating in activities just for the sake of being active within the community. But we are rather now focused on making sure that community members are really sensitized, around the product of MeanDAO. So trying to have this environment where every community member understands what the products of MeanDAO are, and we have lots of events. Say, for instance, there is this structure the DAO now has. There is this diagram sort of chart that Michelle requested we drop for everyone to have a clear view of how the DAO structure works, and we're working at that on that, and that should be available within a day or two. So the basic thing is the DAO structure is designed in such a way that, for instance, writers on their end trying to coordinate contest, did you know activities, just to help community members get constant direction towards the product. The organizers carrying out quiz, it's still around the MeanFi product and blockchain generally. The Crypto Talk session, the same way. You did say something about a spike in Twitter activities on February 11th. I think that was because of the treasure hunt, where people are asked to, respond, like, retweet, and tag 5 friends, replying to the treasure hunt question, which focuses on people guessing the third product after MSB and DDCA. What's next coming out from MeanDAO products? And I guess people had a lot of interest when it comes to that. Just like Pavelson said, there was this reactions people really had from the staking and the multi-sig. So we are rather focused on how the whole organizational structure would have one common goal, like one common vision, where everyone, including the product and support. Okay, for instance, when we come out with a chart, a simple, brief pictorial, which will make everybody understand how everyone is in one way or another working in their own department or in their own section, or giving feedback and tasking themselves. Even the community members also being part of the AMAs, part of quizzes and activities, is their own way of contributing, aside just being a worker. So this is aimed at everyone having a clear picture of where we're headed. For instance, the marketing department, in line with the writers, are trying to create some focus around social engine optimization, where there are key tail words words and head terms that people search for, or discussions people engage on the web that could easily, bring up the MeanFi web app links or anything relating to money streaming, bringing up the MeanFi or MeanDAO as a search result. And so we have should I say, a more streamlined focus for the coming week, where everyone is tasked with prospects for that week or prospects for the coming 2 weeks. And this is in such a way that even when we are trying to reach out to product and support, they have a clear picture of what we're trying to achieve, is in line with what they're trying to achieve as well. So regarding the sensitization outside Discord, we were also thinking about how best we can, go around our already existing partners, because come to think of it, we have so many people that make use of other exchanges, and they are members of partners that have already benefited from the airdrop. Like you said, sometime the SoRise people, they were very quick to claim the airdrops. Well, we have so many of these people that don't even remember that MeanFi has an exchange, and not just about using it, but letting people always have this constant news flash, that these are the products of MeanDAO. This is what they do. So we've been trying to reach out to already existing partners to have AMAs within their own community to once again sensitize their members around what our products are, and giving them that constant reminder and knowledge. Because one thing is for a product to be released, the other thing is for a product to have a lot of, should I say, buzz around it, how advertisement works. And that's one of the things marketers are also trying to do with bringing out email targeted marketing, and so many others, as well as YouTube. So it's practically a community structure focused on the community level, the quiz area. How focused is the quiz content towards sensitizing people around the products, and them having this constant knowledge of, oh, I want to make a swap, I have MeanFi exchange. Okay, I want to save some money and stream it bit by bit. There is the MSP. Okay, so when we have that kind of mindset where everyone is abreast on what's going on with the MeanFi products, like the multi-signature, I think it helps gives this should I say, clear environment where it's healthy enough to help a project really have this spread. When you breathe, you think, and you think MeanFi, and it really gives this easiness to have a community that is so sensitized that there is this more adoption and onboarding of members just by the community members themselves. So that's practically our focus for the coming weeks, and we're doing this in such a way that it's so defined that everyone is in line with a common goal and set objectives. So yeah, the treasure hunt is still on. And one more thing, the Turkish community, they've been very awesome. Arabian Horses, Kukul, before the AME started, they reached out that they would like to help those who do not understand English so perfectly, but they wish to ask questions or write something in the AME chat. So that's why you have some people writing in Turkish, because they can't really express themselves in English. So why not? So they could write in Turkish, and we have Landslide saying he would be handling the Twitter end, and we have Emric. He was on the crypto journey session the other day. He's helping out here on Discord with Kukul. So we are also trying to make sure that so many of these other communities, apart from Turkey, so many other communities like Lycan, having a lot of trying to organize AMEs around his own community. So it's like I said, basically everyone trying to be on their feet to make sure that the nearest community close to you and every single community you can reach out to is sensitized sensitized around the MeanFi words. So we have this knowledge passed on, and I think that's one of the primary ways to really have the word spread even further. And yeah, we are still reaching out to products based on why they would need our services. So it's more like in the coming weeks we'll also be having activities that will be centered around just educational content around the MeanFi documents. So every community member will be able to achieve a scenario where every community member can even write or come on stage to explain the content of what MeanDAO is all about, the products, and without any flaw, understanding it perfectly, because we feel one of the first things about communities is to have a very educational set of people following your product, because that's the first way you're able to get so many new users on board when they come into a space and they see that everyone is well abreast on what the product is about. So that's basically the brief around the community plans for now and in the coming weeks.
Wow, that was quite a bit. All right, so like there's a lot happening on the community, and that's phenomenal. I think that um, we are growing into the DAO that we want to be, and the more we continue to organize ourselves, and the more we continue to invest in the future of the DAO, the more like the better we will all collectively be. And I think the community is doing an amazing job on that. In general, we every day we learn on how to do better, and I am super happy to see that all the ambassadors, organizers, all the people involved, everybody around the DAO is pulling their own weight to make this happen. So congrats to you all, and we'll continue to get better at it.
Yeah, awesome work,
All
everybody.
right. Yeah, nice work. Nice work. All right. So why don't we try to answer some questions here? It is 10:36, and how many people we have? About 90 people right now on the AMA. So let's try to answer some questions here. I'm going to start right at the beginning, where that Simpsons character says that we are open, and it says, guys, we share Twitter information. And then we did, somebody did down there. I saw the news that the P2P platform is being worked on. There are many security problems in P2P. Do you have a study for this? What is the most important difference from other P2Ps? Tosam Zero ask this, MNRD. Tosam, this is a feature that I think is one of the is going to be a very significant feature, especially for retail. So if you think about the way that that we structure our products, we have basically 4 different verticals that we focus on: retail, businesses, developers, and institutions. Okay. And a big part of everything that we're doing on being a censorship resistant bank has to do with the fact that you cannot be shut down. And right now, the only way that you can do fiat on ramps and off ramps is like we have an on ramp solution, and you can go to deposits and you can bring your money from FTX and you can bring your money from your debit card and credit card. But all of those solutions, in one way or another, require our users to do certain amount of KYC, certain amount of identification. And a big problem is that, especially on developing countries, um, people just don't have documentation that is KYC-able. Okay, so that actually KYC providers will be able to take in and say, "Yep, I understand who you are. I understand that this is a legitimate government-issued ID." And especially on those countries that are having governmental issues with their currency, namely Turkey, Nigeria, all of those developing countries, like the trust of the government by their very nature is already a little bit eroded. So trying to provide an alternative way for them to be able to move in and out of crypto is what the P2P exchange is all about. So the main idea here is that we are going to be publishing contracts that allow any two people to basically swap fiat for crypto, either in person or close to as close as you get to being in person, because the money needs to somewhat exchange hands at that point, and be able to do that without the need to having to go through any kind of KYC, and be able to do all of that in a self-custody, permissionless, censorship-resistant way, so that if tomorrow the governments of X country, I'm not going to name anybody here, but decide to outlaw any kind of crypto exchange, it's going to be virtually impossible for people for them to crack down on that, unless they basically police every single person on the streets, because you will be able to do that exchange. Now, there are a few other applications today that allow you to do that, namely on Ethereum for the most part, that I can think of today. For example, BISC is one of them that allow you to do that very well today. But the facility and the constraints that are around a solution like BIS is that you have to do that from your computer. You cannot do it from your mobile device. You cannot do it through the web interface. You have to have a lot of complexities, because maintaining escrow contracts with basically online wallet keys on chain on Ethereum is it has a lot of complications. It is a little bit easier to do it in Solana, and that's where we're going to go to. In terms of what solutions or what are we different from other P2Ps, is we are not trying to innovate. We're just trying to, on this one. We just think that this is one of the key elements. We're there's not a whole lot of innovation that we are going to be bringing into this space, other than the fact that it's going to be super fast and super cheap, which is kind of inherent to the network that we are in. In other words, it's not faster because of the code that we're writing is faster, because anything that we're doing, it has any kind of special secret sauce. We're just going to put a lot of love into the UI, a lot of love into the user experience, and a lot of thought that is going to come into that. And the same way that we're doing right now with multisig, we're not the first multisig in Solana. We're just going to be the best one in Solana, the easiest one in Solana, the one that most people can understand without having to go through a course on how to write a specific lines of code or CLI or anything like that to execute against the Solana runtime. Right? So that's our focus here, to make sure that that we are that bridge of knowledge in between someone that has never used a multisig or a P2P exchange, from them being able to use it and understand what exactly is happening without a whole lot of complications, both in their experience and the results that ensues out of that. So hopefully I answered that question. If anybody wants to add anything there, just feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I think that was great, Michelle. I mean, I guess the one of the elements is around security, and obviously we're going to help in that front, and I think that's a two-pronged issue, right? One on education, which we're actively doing, because as if you're your own custody of funds, there is an onus on yourself to ensure you're practicing proper procedures to keep yourself secure, right? So it's not. It doesn't just rely on say the traditional bank that people are used to interacting with, but without a doubt that would be a focus of ours, to ensure that at the very least on the solutions we provide, there's going to be appropriate security education around it, if the onus is solely on the user to make sure that they're doing due diligence when they make transactions, for instance.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, let's keep on here. Let's see. Do you have plans to present the project at conferences such as Denver, Miami, to promote the project? Sure answer, yes. As a matter of fact, we are already doing some of those things. We have not publicized a whole lot of those yet, because so the publicity from event marketing is a little bit of a double-edged sword, and we did go to Solana Breakpoint back in, I think it was November, December, I don't remember now, but back then we participated in Solana Breakpoint, and you will see MeanFi kind of like prepping up, especially around hackathons, being sponsors in hackathons, upcoming hackathons. We're probably going to be sponsoring several hackathons and providing grants for people to build on top of our smart contracts. The current one that is ongoing right now from Solana Foundation, which is Riptide, was a little bit like an unfortunate timing for us because we're in the middle of audits, and we cannot just basically ask people to build on things that very soon are going to be obsolete, because as the audits go through, we have basically new code in production, new things that are now being used, and asking developers to build on a already almost older version was not going to be a very good payout on us. So, but on upcoming hackathons and upcoming events, for sure, we're going to be sponsoring some of those. There's one that is going to be happening, I think, somewhere in June, July, in Croatia. We're going to be part of that. Um, some of the Denver and Miami events that you're mentioning, they are not DeFi specific. Some of those are, if there is one that is DeFi specific, for sure we're going to be participating. But for example, the Miami Bitcoin conference, which just took place in January, that is a very trader focused kind of conference. Most people there are not necessarily building projects in DeFi. They are talking about tokens and economics and behavior, and it's more of a trader and hype type of conference, which kind of doesn't gel very well with our approach and our style. So not all conferences are a fit for us. We go to conference because we want to promote the project with other businesses, with other DAOs. We want to make partnerships. We want to check hands. We want to make sure that we grow the ecosystem as a whole. And we have to do that strategically because they do cost a lot of money, and that ultimately needs to come out of somewhere here, right? So, but yeah, sure answer is absolutely it is in the schedule, and as the meaningful ones come on. Like, by the way, Stephen, which Stephen Mindao, you asked that. Like, if anybody is aware of any conference or any event that we should be participating, that you think it is a good fit because we will be able to attract development on top of our contracts, or because we will be able to attract any of our client bases or anything like that, just bring it up. Bring it up to the ambassadors. Bring it up to the organizers. Bring it up through the DAO, and we will try to see if we have a budget for it. And yeah, absolutely, we will try to participate in that. Okay. Next question here. When the market is red, we will listing new exchange. If decline continues, doesn't mean more selling pressure for us. A little more patient would be good. What do you think about it? I think that you're referring to the fact that the market has been like continuing to go down in the last couple of days, and we just listed on Bitmart. So I actually, like, someone on the tweet today did say something to the tune of, "But the price is going down." And I pasted, like, go read that tweet where we put the Bitmart announcement. There's some commentary down there. I actually replied to that person, Yekta. I said, "Sir, very bad price." And I replied, "Perspective is a bitch. Here's a 90-day token performance of top DeFi projects in Solana. Sure thing. Being number one would feel better. We are number two in the best performing top DeFi projects on Solana. We are above Serum. Serum is 63% retracement over a 90-day period. We're 61%. The only one that is above us is Solrise, which is 47%, which is actually, like, they have performed really well in the last 90 days. We are 61% retracement on 90 days. Radium is 67%. Saber is 68%. Genesis Go is 70%. Grape is 71%. Synthetify 73%. Port Finance 78%. Orca 80% down. We are 61% down. Do we want to be down? Of course not. But, like, you cannot look at the price of a token in a vacuum. You have to look at it in the entire scope of what's happening in the market and what's happening overall within our category. If you try to compare our token price and our tokenomics and our things with our Rory or some GameFi project, like you're not comparing apples to apples here, right? The market react different to different categories, and right now, for many different factors and many different reasons, DeFi projects are taking a little bit of this lump. It's been happening since we launched. Like we launched in a really bad down market. So if you want to talk price, you go talk price in the DAO. I know that there's like one of the chats there that it is dedicated for that. So I'm sure you get a lot of analysis that can come of that. Are you considering creating mutual fund baskets as in central banking applications? MREC, we are not going to create mutual fund baskets. We are going to be using Solrise fund, active fund management. And we're going to be exposing some of those directly on MeanFi, so that you can basically see your entire portfolio within a single spot. But yes, that is coming to MeanFi. Very good question, Emmerich. Let's see what else is going on here. Will MeanFi be in the mobile app? I don't know which the mobile app you mean. Like it's a mobile app specifically. This is RCNRBS. Man, you need some vowels on that nickname of yours. Otherwise, it cannot be read. RCNRBS. We have discussed about having a mobile MeanFi application multiple times, and we have actually initiated a couple of conversations with potential partners that will help us get there. And the problem is not a technical one; it is a legal one. We're a DAO, and being in a mobile distribution platform like Apple or Google's require legal jurisdictional foundation, which we're trying to avoid at all costs. Okay, so but yes, there's a strategy to come up with that at some point in the future. Maybe we should communicate with more personalized tweets, replying to tweets that are sharing personal experience according to their tweets. We can reply. Okay, this is a suggestion from Elisa. Thank you, Elisa. Yeah, probably. You've been very vocal lately, Elisa. Maybe like we need to get you into one of those more active roles of leadership there. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Yeah, we'll be taken into account for sure. Thank you. What else do we have here? Pavel-san, do you see anything that jumps out of to you?
Yeah, if I could just add a little bit on the mobile app thing. One of the focuses in the interim is we are working on making it more mobile friendly, sort of taking a page book from what Jupiter did, and while we're working on trying to solve some of those legal issues, such that it is more usable at the mobile level, but just not in an app. So I just wanted to add a small little addition to that, because I think that's very positive, and it is the way that a lot of other projects in Solana are going, for the reasons you have already stated, of course.
Yep. All right, cool. Selku Kogren Men asks, do you continue to work with other partners? Yes, of course. As in, like, do we have partners that we want to continue to work? Yes. Do we have partners that we have been working with? Yes. Have we been working with the partners that we already have? Yes. So it's yes across the board for that question. Do you plan to collaborate with other blockchain projects in the future? Of course, yes. Like, what kind of question is that? Globally, for example, I think the number of users in America and Europe is very low. You're very correct, Pin. The number of users in the U.S., when you combine everything in North America, that Canada and the United States, we are somewhere around the 5% of the entire population of the user base is from the U.S. or Canada. Hopefully some of that will start to grow now that we've included, that we've been listed on BitMart. BitMart has a big US presence. And part of the business development efforts that are underway right now are to expand operations into Brazil and Mexico, specifically those two, which are very large populations and the most significant GDPs that we have in Latin America right now. So, we know about it, and it is something that we need to collectively work on it, and hopefully bring those users here to the DAO as well. Let's see, what else do we have here? It is 10:54. Anyone thought about Twitter adverts? I think that you mean advertising, Humphrey. Yes, we have not done any kind of paid advertising in any kind of platform at all whatsoever so far. We are hiring for marketing. Go to MeanFi.com and click on that. We're hiring button. We have a lot of job posts in there. So shout out to Ina, who is maintaining and preparing all of those things and running those interviews. But if you have, so we're actively hiring on engineering. We're actively hiring in product design. We're actively hiring in business development and in marketing. So those are more permanent positions, not necessarily kind of like project work that you do a project, you get reward for that from the DAO treasury. Like those are more consistent, longer term positions, more on the strategy side than on the daily work side. But yeah, if you feel like you want to be doing this like full time for real, like and not being 10 different projects at the same time, come to us and apply through the portal. Everything is online. What else do we have here? When staking will start, sir? Emra. So staking should come live sometime. We're gonna probably towards the end of next week. I'm gonna say within the next 10 days. We're looking at staking coming live. POL, we just got word that has a little bit of a delay again. We had that scheduled to go in the last week of February. Now it looks like it's in the first week of March. Pavel-san, is that right?
Yeah.
Like when is that?
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit up in the air because there's an audit that's surrounding that, not on our front, that needs to pass before that can launch. So it was set as first week of March, but it is tentative at the moment because it presumes that all the security measures are going to pass before obviously we proceed with it.
Yep. No, right on. So, in other words, like essentially, we're all of the bonding mechanisms that we're going to be launching for the protocol-owned liquidity, and the treasury diversification that we're going to do with our own treasury and with our own token, is dependent upon the partner that we're doing the launch with. Okay. Unfortunately, for NDA and things like that, we cannot say yet what the partner is, but it's a very good partner, and they are going through the audit as they bring their business to Solana. That audit went through a little bit of a delay, and that's where we're waiting for essentially. We're ready for it as soon as they are ready for it, but we are dependent on their timetable.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else? The community plan on getting a YouTube influencer for promotion. We actually have Brownhead. We have a and we're evaluating right now, or soon are going to be evaluating another round of our influencer and KOL network. I think that the URL is bit.ly/meankol. I want to say that is the maybe not. Yeah, it's I need to check what is the actual, but it is, if you go to the, yeah, that is it. So I just pasted it there in the AMA questions. But the Mean KOL and the Media PR and KOL Influencer Network is it's been open for applications. We have I think that over $350,000 worth of interest that other KOLs have shown on that particular network. Basically, people that want to be able to get the discount on our token, but we have to evaluate each one of them independently because some of them might not be what we need for that. So we're in the process of doing that. But yeah, send your KOLs there if you have someone that is interested. All right, it is 10:59. Time to wrap it up. Chris Code, Pavel-san, any last words?
Let's keep going, guys. Just again, thank you very much for everyone's hard work, and let's keep growing the community and doing the awesome work we're doing. So keep it up.
Right on. All right, like I always say, it is Friday. Go out, smell the flowers, kiss your loved ones, and let's fucking go!
Have a good day,
All
everyone.
right.
Take care.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.